So I was seeing this image pop up constantly on social media for about a week now, and so because of that, I decided to check out Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, Episode 1 and Episode 2, just to see kind of where the drama is coming from, and if it's actually a good series or not. Is it like a trash anime, a good anime, who really knows? So I sat down and watched it, and honestly, the drama, it's just so blown out of proportion. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like, people are complaining about Uzaki's character design, like her proportions and everything, and I'm just like, clearly you don't know about short stack. Clearly you don't know that there's actually people out there that do look like Uzaki. Like, there is individuals that look like her, maybe not one by one, but do look somewhat similar, and I'm just thinking, like, really, this drama is really being blown out of proportion, because there's just so much more to this series than just that. It's actually incredibly good, and I'm gonna talk about it in just a second, but I'm just like, anyone that is just straight up wanting this anime canceled or hating on it just because of a character design, like, really, there's been so much more questionable stuff I have seen from anime over the years that goes way beyond anything that Uzaki does. Like, I have seen, oh man, like, an uncountable amount of things that just Uzaki comes nowhere close to. Honestly, this is tame and a very wholesome series in comparison to everything else I have seen, and I'm just like, people need to calm down, because honestly, it's kind of disgusting to a certain extent, and I'm just like, this series is so much better than what people are kind of painting it as, because, like, if I was to listen to what people were saying about Uzaki before watching it, I might not have liked it, because I saw a lot of complaints, there was a lot of negativity around it, which obviously is why I watched it, but I was under the impression it was going to be bad, but in reality, it's kind of a gem of this season. It's a good contrast to the other stuff that I'm watching, like ReZero, God of High School, and a few other series. It's actually, I like this series quite a bit. So anyways, enough with that. Let's actually talk about what Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out is about. Is it worth your time or not? Now, looking past character design, this series is set in a college setting, which automatically is a huge win for me, because I have seen so many romance anime over the years, slice of life anime, and they get a little bit stale. They're good. There's a lot of classics, and there's a lot of good high school setting romance slice of life series with comedy and all that. There's a lot. A lot of my favorites of all time are a part of that. But I do like how in recent years, anime, at least in this genre, has been slowly expanding to college setting, because it makes me appreciate more. It allows us to have characters that are actually like adults and do different things besides the typical school drama, cultural festivals, and stuff like that. You have where the characters actually do different things, interacting at jobs and all of that, and, you know, being able to do things that you wouldn't see, you know, kids go into high school like, in those type of stories and series. So, I do automatically like that it is a college setting. That wins points instantly from my book, because of just how it is. But it doesn't just stop there. Also, I know many looking at the series is instantly going to think that it's going to be full of fan service, because when you see Uzaki's design, it definitely gives you that impression that she's gonna be full-on fan service 24/7, and yes, there is definitely some fan service moments throughout these first two episodes, but honestly, they're very mild and not really the main focus of kind of what these episodes are about. There's actually so much more going on that I really didn't even notice much fan service. It was, like, very tame in comparison, because I was just like, whoa, this is really wholesome. So, besides college setting, the main point of this is obviously by the title, Uzaki Wants to Hang Out. So, a main male character of this story is a loner. He's someone that's antisocial. He doesn't really have many people to interact with, and because of that, he's kind of spent his whole, like, first year in college just pretty much goofing off, just being a loner, being by himself, you know, doing nothing really, just kind of wasting away his college days, which, even though he's satisfied with it, like, deep down, he's fine with it, he's not really bugged, he doesn't really feel lonely or anything. He might, like, I guess subconsciously feel lonely, but overall, he seems to be fine with his day-by-day things. Like, he just enjoys being able to be lazy, relax, do whatever, be by himself. And so you have Uzaki that was watching him for an entire year while he was at college, and it's like, he has the same routine, he's not doing anything different, and so when the next year comes around, she's like, it's gonna change. We're gonna definitely do something this year. He's gonna definitely change his lifestyle, allow him to actually have something to look forward to really mix it up and cause pizzazz in his life. And so, automatically, the main female character, she just wants to make this dude happy, wants to give him something in his life besides just sitting there, sleeping, relaxing, doing basically nothing. So that automatically is just wholesome. I love her character for that, because it's honestly relatable on both sides. I can understand the main male character's point of view, and I can also understand Uzaki's point of view as well, and kind of what they both want. For instance, the MC, the main male character, just wanting to be by himself and relax, I understand that. There's many times I just want to be by myself, do my own thing, read manga, play games, that's it. Nobody bug me. But then there's other times where I'm like, I wish I had someone here, or, you know, hanging out with someone, and I'm just like, I understand those perspectives. I understand why Uzaki is doing what she does, and I think it's just such a healthy relationship between the two characters, because even though she comes off as very annoying and buggy, like she's picking on the MC, it's not really about that. She's actually just really trying to have him open up and give him some joy in his life, and I don't know, just this concept I really appreciate. It's something I really like about this series. It's so wholesome, and it put a smile on my face constantly watching it. I mean, yeah, she teases him constantly, saying he's a loner, or, you know, he's obviously been by himself to movies quite a bit because, you know, he's built up points watching solo movies, but at the end of the day, she just wants to give him some joy, and I don't know, just that simple concept that normally would be very boring somehow works with this story, and it just comes off as just endearing, honestly. And there's more than that, too. Besides just, like, her wanting to help him out and all that, you got just the lovable, like, I guess, just quirky art and, I guess, animation. Like, the art and animation actually looks really good. I mean, for a Moe Blob type series set in a slice of life setting, it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful story. I know many might not like the design in terms of, like, maybe the fang on her mouth and all that she has, but I'm not really one to be bugged by that. But I do think, though, that just when it comes to the quirkiness of the characters, the voice actors, the art and animation, it really gives this series a whole new level of life to it that I enjoy from start to finish. Now, when it comes to the actual opening song, it's forgettable. It's okay. It fits the style, what the series is. The opening song is very forgettable. It's like, meh. It's just like, okay. Like, I watched it. It was enjoyable, but probably not going to watch it again. It's just, yeah, it's there. It's an opening song. That's about it. Which, speaking of which, I do want to talk about the second episode, though, when it comes to kind of changing up the formula just a little bit. Because honestly, thinking about Uzaki just wanting to hang out with the MC, that type of concept seems like it could get, you know, relatively boring. I mean, it's just a theme of her wanting to mix up his day and have him do something, but in reality, that could get boring in a story setting. But so far, in 2 episodes in, it doesn't really seem like that is the case. However, things like that can change in, like, 4 to 5 episodes, maybe, if there isn't some form of conflict added within the story, which I really don't know what kind of conflict could technically be added to this story, because I mean, really looking at the nature of it, just throwing in some typical, like, romance type conflict wouldn't work. I mean, throwing in maybe something with, like, a student council, I don't know if that would work either. There's a lot of things about this series that I just don't think the normal tropes and stuff would actually work with, and so I do wonder how this series is going to keep it relatively, like, enjoyable and not allow it to grow stale because of just the whole plot of it. Which, speaking of tropes, that is another thing to kind of talk about. Now, I did mention already that there was definitely some fan service, and there's definitely going to be some things that's going to make either people like, whoa, this is whoa, or, you know, roll their eyes. But there is one thing that I've always hated when it has come to fan service. It's that those moments where an MC walks in on a room and he instantly gets slapped or hit when it was clearly an accident, but it was an overreaction, he gets hit, or he's sitting in a room doing his own thing and then a girl, like, walks in and then, you know, obviously fan service happens and it results in him also getting hit. Stuff like that, I get a little bit bugged about. I understand if it's someone like from, you know, like being like a little bit of a ecchi person, like just going in and spying. I understand that, but most of the time characters are thrown in these type of tropes to where they're just slapped, hit, or whatever for no reason. It's so annoying to a certain degree to me. I know not many are going to agree with that opinion, but it annoys me. And those type of tropes actually were not in this episode. There was actually many parts in these two episodes to where they could have had those tropes, but it subverted it. You had it to where, like, there was a misunderstanding with, you know, how he was able to, like, have some fan service with her, and she just let it slip on by. Or when he was playing VR, he goes for, you know, a grab, and obviously in a normal situation from a typical anime, you know, a slap, but didn't happen either. So I'm just like, whoa, this series is actually trying to go away, or do away with, you know, the typical cliche, you know, tropes that you would see in this type of stuff, and I'm just like, I appreciate that. That doesn't bug me as much if they don't do that stuff constantly. Like, it doesn't bug me if it makes sense, if it makes sense with the circumstances, but most of the time it doesn't, and it's just super annoying, and so this series is winning points in my book constantly. Like, the setting in terms of just like being a college setting, you know, subverting tropes, the wholesome nature of what it's actually about, art and animation. There's a lot to love here, and I think that Uzaki-chan is one of the better series of this anime season. Obviously, I don't think it's anime of the season because there's so much good from this season. I mean, let's be honest here. But I mean, like, even then, this is a good balance to what this season is about, because if you're not someone that likes action from, like, let's say God of High School, and you're not someone that likes psychological and mystery like ReZero, then this is going to be more of your cup of tea. It's going to be, you know, slice of life, comedy, and, you know, a little bit of romance, you know, thrown in. So, yeah. But I think that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, you know, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.